My name is George Odhiambo. I did join KCA 2006. I took a year and some months. 2007 was my class of graduation. Postgraduate diploma in corporate governance was my class. Yes, I do have fond memories for KCA University, particularly my class. We were people who were already working, considered successful in our career, but a lot of learning took place. The dedication with which the program was run is still amazing to me, because we had 6 lecturers. Imagine appearing on a Saturday and you must meet 4 of them and diligently waiting to meet you. So between 8 to 4, the fond memory of someone who was already employed, the diligence with which the class was conducted. I was a commuting student from Nakuru to Nairobi and back. And that meant that I required equivalent dedication when I arrived. By the time I was coming to KCA University, I had been employed for some time, and I realized that I needed something else to take me to another level. I was already in management, but I was not in leadership. So there's a big disconnect because my leader was many grades ahead of me. In management, I had a wide span of control, meaning so many people reporting to me. I was an area manager for Barclays Bank, North and Central Rift. That spanned from Naivasha to Bungoma to Kapenguria, Eldoret, and in between. So you can imagine all those businesses that I do manage, but my leader in Nairobi is not someone, even if he steps out, I'll be able to be the next successor. And from that time, I needed to move closer. Corporate governance did help me out to understand how organizations are managed, did help me how organizations are being resourced, how financial accountability is taken care of, did help me how the controls and business processes are being managed. So when I brought all that skills together, it gave me leverage to ask for the opportunity to come and work at the center. And that's how I started moving out of Nakuru, Eldoret. I came back to Nairobi. I found myself now being able to sit in the management teams of leadership as well, and be the one to take notes, track those kind of things. And with that time, I started now influencing the future of the organization. And that influence really worked when organization structure is being redesigned. With my knowledge, I would give my input on what should be done. It helped me twice. After I graduated in 2007, in 2008, I was able to go to leadership in a job that did not exist, because I was able to influence inclusion of a leadership job in the organization structure, and they were the first occupant. Head of Business Analytics, East and West Africa for Barclays. I was the first occupant of that role that never existed. One thing that corporate governance taught me, to avoid rigorous path of competition by creating my own way and pathway to occupy. That job still exists in that organization. It propelled me to another organization, KCB Kenya. It didn't exist. I also went there to create the job. So there was no interview because the job didn't exist. So having realized they needed such a person, I could only do a presentation. You can imagine a job that you do and you're not interviewed. You are the one doing the presentation. So you can choose to be a consultant or an employee. So I chose to be a consultant for a short time. Then I also now asked, can I now stay as an employee? Because I felt I was young and I didn't want to be dislocated from the industry. So corporate governance taught me how to navigate through the web of organizational design and create new opportunities for myself, so that I use more of influence than trying to control things that cause friction. So you must have an intention of why you choose corporate governance. If you don't want to go into leadership, you don't want to be at the center of designs of organizations, you don't want to be the one influencing change, just do what you will use. I'm not a partaker of just sitting for examinations and doing things that I don't want to intend to use after first graduation. You have very little control in your first degree. You are from high school, the university has given you admission on a course, you may have chosen it or not, but you quickly adjust as a young person and do it. But the second, third, fourth credentials, you have a choice to make. I would not advise someone to take corporate governance, postgraduate diploma, if you don't have a purpose for it. Seek why you want to do it. Then once you make up your mind, get committed. It's not an easy course. I can tell you it's not an easy course. there are certain skills that many years back did not look relevant. And then there are people who took time to delve into those skills. Let me take you 3 decades back because I've lived long. When I was in the university, early 1990s, there are few people who did take their extra time to go and study accounts. They registered with CASNEP. There are people who did go study computer programming, not computer science, just use of applications. And that looked like an extra work. And many people bothered. Why are you spending time? You're in the Faculty of Science. Why are you studying accounts? Why are you doing all this? So when we graduated, there are some organizations that came looking for us, but they're looking for extra skills. Those guys got a head start. And we thought they were wasting their time. They did get a head start. Later on, fast forward again, there are people who, when postgraduate corporate governance was introduced, or corporate governance became a key study, they thought that it is a passing cloud. Where would you use it? It is something that the world has never used. But then companies started collapsing globally every direction, and the root cause was poor corporate governance. So the people who were already holding positions of authority, some of them never saw the need to study this. And the people who are now seeing an opportunity that displacements are coming in future did study this. And they were ready when those opportunities arose. I mean, that generation, when those opportunities came available and we were ready with it, we could show our credentials for higher learnings, but we could also show extra. And that continued to happen. After corporate governance, then there came something called coaching. And coaching then became something like people are ashamed of. If you say you have a coach, people start imagining that you are incompetent, your capabilities are questionable. But many people did not understand that the best person in any field needs a coach. Even in sports, the best people have coaches. And those coaches are not better than them in doing what they're doing. So executive coaching became another thing, that an opportunity that I also took. It has also helped me then, not just to manage upward like corporate governance taught me. Executive coaching has now given me a chance to give back. Newly appointed CEOs, government officials in and out of this country will reach out to me for 6 months period, 2 hours in a month, for how to navigate challenges they encounter that are not in their textbook. So it gives me a chance to give back. So I've had an opportunity to keep relationships, because those people don't forget about you. They remember you because you've given them that money couldn't buy in their postgraduate degree studies. Treating students as human beings, not as transaction items of how many people do you have, how many people are paying. Given that the accounting job, is good for them to do that. But there should be a general administration attitude towards knowing that you are building for future, you are building human beings, you are treating wholesome people to become better people. Then you don't forget, because it's a very formative year for you to be in the university. It's a very formative time for you to take up a study and a course. Now make the alma mater also have the opportunity to be your suppliers, to be your vendors. If you want to keep them close as many as possible, provide for them opportunity that recognizes that they were also part of the family from the start. I would not know how KCA intends to do this for the long run, but many places that have passed through, and we have groups of people who passed there before, like in my former high school, 10% of the teachers are alumni members. And I've talked to many other organizations. I know in some schools like Alliance High School, the board members, 100%, must have been students of Alliance High School. Special cases are co-opted, because Alliance High School only has boys, but you need skills that are brought by females. So you will co-opt them, because you need to. And those kind of developments bring closer the alma mater to their institutions for a longer term. But generally also just pass the message that it's good to give back. Not everybody will agree with you, but as many as possible will understand it. Don't do it after they've left. Start doing when they join. You are here for a period, you will leave, But when you leave, consider giving back. The most difficult thing this time is to call the students to attend a talk by alumni off working time, because there is that assumption that I can get anything I want on the internet. The human touch, the conversation is still very important. How the alumni can help the student population, again, for inspiration purposes, for guidance, is to continuously communicate. Start showing it in small groups, in small steps. Don't go for the entire university. Call faculty members and say those who pursued this course, or aggregate them 2 or 3 courses before you go to the entire university invitation for them to be in a particular space. It is going to be difficult, but also leverage on technology. You can make it online, you can make it a webinar. And that webinar is also very easy to organize and also very easy to fail on. Because if you don't publish it well, you don't communicate it well, there are things competing for their students' times. There are so many things. You want to do it at 7 o'clock in the evening, someone wants to watch news. You want to do it at 8 p.m., someone wants to watch a soap opera. You want to do it at 9 p.m., someone wants to watch sports. So try to test all those possibilities and slots that are possible. Sometimes people get involved in what they pay for. So don't be fearful to test. There's this talk, people must register, and registration is 100 shillings. Then people pay attention to those kind of things. If it's free, is all the time is available, is a good thing. But the people you want to attend, sometimes they don't find it useful for them. That's why they'll spend their time at the same time you want to talk to them to be involved in the things that they are paid for. Because it's value for their money, and this is value for nothing sometimes for them. So I'm a proponent of sometimes it costs people to spend to pay attention. That's why if education in the university is for free, people will not be as many as you would imagine they would be. Because they're paying, they attend every day. I would want it to be cheaper or affordable for that matter, but I'm open also to be told what the young people want. We should be forever grateful. KCA gave us a platform. We use that platform. That platform has worked for many of us in different places. We should remain grateful, and being grateful can be communicated in many ways. You can give back to the institution directly. You can support a student to go through a course in KCA University. You can support a graduate to get a placement somewhere, and you can always get involved in the activities organized by the university to show gratefulness. Thank you.